Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I hope that you are doing well. I hope most of all that you are continuing to use this time to connect with the Lord Jesus and to connect with each other. I think those are the two most important things we can be doing during this time, connecting with the Lord Jesus and connecting with each other. And so I hope those things are still happening, and I hope that your relationships are healthy. I hope that you are finding ways to connect with each other. I hope that I hope work is going well. If you're still working, I hope that online classes are going well. I just want you to know that I love you, that I care for you, and that I'm here to help however I can. So please let me know how I can do that. Let me know how I can pray for you, help you, and be a blessing to you. Okay? It is Wednesday, so I want to give just a brief word from the Bible here. I'm going to read one verse from Psalm 84. I want to read Psalm 84, verse 10, and then I'm going to give us a couple of ideas of things that I think we can be doing during a time like this to love our neighbors. Okay, so this is Psalm 84, verse 10. For a day in your courts is better than 1,000 elsewhere. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of God than dwell in the tents of wickedness. So he says, for a day in your courts is better than 1,000 elsewhere. He's talking to God. 1,000 elsewhere. Just think of the numbers that we're using. One day versus 1,000 days. You know, guys, there's a lot of places that I can think about being for 1,000 days that would be pretty amazing. One of my favorite places in all the world is Disney World. My family used to go there when I was younger, and it's just a very special place for me. And I truly love it. And I can try to imagine spending 1,000 days at a place like Disney World. Think of that place for you and think about what it would be to spend 1,000 days there. And then compare this to what the psalmist is saying here, that even when that is the case, it is still better to spend one day in God's presence. And the truth that we need to meditate on is, how great must this God be if one day in His presence outshines and is better than 1,000. I mean, I can think of a lot of places that are wonderful to be, and you can too. One day in God's presence is better than 1,000 days anywhere else. And so guys, this week, Holy Week, the week leading to Easter, I hope and I pray that you are thinking about God, thinking about the God of the gospel, the God of glory and grace, who loved you so much that He sent His Son Jesus to live the life you could not live, to die the death you should have died, to be raised to new life so that you can have endless hope in Him. I hope and I pray that you're thinking about Him this week. What I want to do now, I'm going to close this, it's a little windy out here, is I've got a sheet here that has some things you can be doing during this time in order to be able to love your neighbor well. So I'm going to list a few of these, and maybe you'll take one or two. Maybe there's some of them you're already doing, or maybe you'll try to do as many as you can for as long as this season lasts. And so here's just a couple of them. Something you can do, guys, is you can donate needed items to a local food shelf. You can find those places, take some canned goods, that kind of thing, to provide for the needy. You can call and check on someone who's isolated or quarantined. This could be your grandmother and your grandfather, and older members of your family. You can chip in with others to give grocery gift cards or other benevolent cash-oriented things like that. I know as a college student, you may not be rolling in the dough, but you can use some stuff like that. Okay, you can do that. So how about this? How about pray for those who are sick and vulnerable around the world, particularly those who are infected with the virus. I don't know the latest numbers in Iowa, but maybe you'll just pray for Iowa specifically. Here's one, guys. Invite someone to the live stream on Sunday morning. Send that YouTube link to them, or you could just use our website link. What an easy way for a non-Christian that you know to be able to hear the life-giving message of Jesus. That would be a great thing to do. Maybe you'll take that link and you'll send it, you'll post it to your social media, you'll invite people to worship Jesus with you this Sunday. Pray for doctors and for nurses, particularly those friends that you know that are nurses and they're doctors and that serve in that way. Pray for them by name. They're really on the front lines here. Email, call, or text a person that you know might need help. That's a good thing to do. You can sew masks for local hospitals. Use some of that free time to do this, and I know some of you are already doing something like that. Hospitals are really needy for things like that. And here's another one, guys. Pray for our leaders, particularly the coronavirus task force set up by President Trump. Pray for Dr. Fauci, who is really the head coordinator and leader of the task force. Pray for wisdom. Pray for discernment. Remember what Proverbs says, that the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord. He turns it wherever he wills. And so pray for them. Bless someone in your household with an act of kindness. If anything, this is giving us more time with our families. And so college students, I know, especially those of you who have come home, you've now made that transition from mid-semester, basically early summer